Firing. He's going for Landry down by the end zone. A tumbling catch for a touchdown. Jump. He's to the 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown. Is this how it feels to win?
Welcome back, Survivors, episode 45, season 4. This is Surviving the Season, live from Pasig City in Manila. I am Adam, and Greg is here.
Yo, what is it up?
Browns win 27-19.
You brought it up to me early in this game where you said, were we coasting through this thing? Like there's no pep in anybody's step. What's going on with the team here? And I think you're absolutely right. That first half was pretty ugly.
Yeah. Oh, it just seemed like the team was kind of done. I don't know.
Done right
the whole offense
from the beginning.
Is it was just kind of like, do we really want to do this? Didn't feel like there was any energy at all.
Yeah, the Bengals, as everybody knows, giving up a ton of rushing yards, and then we come out and what do? We throw pass after pass, and then it wasn't going well early. I don't know what Baker was 7 of 16 for 114 and 2 picks at the end of the first half, and that's where I'm like, okay. Meanwhile, 16 passes, and we had 8 runs, and 2 of them were by Baker. So when you so often hear people go, you got to run it or you got to pass it, which I love to make, fun of, where it's like, yeah, we get it. We got to do one or the two. It's your opponent here that kind of what's going to help you determine what you're going to do. And when you're going up against a team like the Bengals who struggle at really stopping the run and who you should be able to gash over and over, they just really didn't do much of that. I mean, Nick Chubb only had 7 yards at halftime on 3 carries, so it's not like he was getting it done in those 3 carries. But I mean, that's what happens, right? When you run the ball, it's the law of averages that it's going to get Nick Chubb back to whatever he ended up the game with. Let me look real quick. I know he was over 100 yards, so 23. Oh, that's Joe Mixon had 104. Nick Chubb 15 carries, 106 yards, so he ends up with a 7.1 average, and it's 99 yards in the second half on 12 carries. So you have to, I don't know. I mean, at this point, I don't even know what to do. It looks like, I don't know if the players, like you said, they're almost not even invested in the game. Odell looks like he's ready to go. There's rumors before the game, Jay Glazer saying that he's hearing from people that Odell was saying that he wanted out of town. And then you had the whole thing with people asking, what was it, Mary Kay and Daryl and, all the media members sort of asking Odell about it, where Odell actually said, hey, he does want to be here and he loves playing with Landry. That kind of sounded from me like that answer was, yeah, I like playing with Landry and I don't mind being here, but there's something else, maybe a little bit more to that. Like, is it Freddie?
Yeah,
he doesn't
I
like
don't know.
this off.
I don't know what's going on with it.
I mean, Odell,
but it does look like he is frustrated. I think.
Yeah, and stat-wise, he's having the worst season of his career. But the one he got frustrated on, like he's open deep, right? Like he's there, and Baker could throw that ball, but I mean, we're kind of milking the clock. Like we need to get a first down real bad, and Baker got a pretty easy first down. You get what I'm saying? Like it's not like it was. You really had to. I don't know. You would hope he would just be like, okay, we got the first down. Let's come back. Maybe we'll get another shot at it or something. It just seemed like, hey man, you guys should be happy you got that first. That was a big first down there. Maybe not be pouting about it, but what are you going to do?
Wide receivers going to be wide receivers, right?
Yeah, and there's been, I get that for this. That's the thing about this time of year where it's like you haven't been playing up to what you had hoped. I mean, they're sitting 6-7, so from a record standpoint, it's not like the worst record that you could hope. But they know they're pretty much out of this thing. They can have to have a lot of teams either lose games and they're no longer in control of their own destiny. And that's a tough pill to swallow for a team that had such high expectations. And the frustrations is clearly showing in so many ways. So I don't know. Like, I don't like that Odell does that. I get it. I get why he does that, but it's a little frustrating to me as a fan in the fact that it's like, there was you still did the right thing on the play. You got got the first down. It could have been a touchdown, I guess. Could have been 6. I don't know where the safety was on that, but I don't know. I get if you're Odell and what was his targets today? 5 targets,
5, yeah.
2 catches, 39 yards. You're thinking, that's not great, but Jarvis Landry only was 7 targets, 4 receptions. Njoku was back. I mean, it almost looks like they don't even want to put him out there. I don't know if that's because he's just coming back and, they had the one interception that was thrown to him that I don't know if that was a correct call. It seemed like he's definitely down by contact there, but you know how the NFL has been. I don't know. I just don't know what the hell this team's doing.
Yeah.
I don't know what the end game is here for these guys.
Something seems dysfunctional, I guess.
Clearly, is
right? What you can say. I'm reading here, Mayfield's talking after the game. He's saying about OBJ's injury that the team didn't handle it correctly. The training staff he should have gotten surgery before the season and then missed a couple games. I don't know why Mayfield wants to bring this up.
Oh, yeah, right. Bring it. There's probably no reason to bring that out into the media. Here's some more.
This
of
seems
it, I
like
guess.
He's making a mistake.
Doesn't HIPAA laws keep Baker from being able to say anything? Well, I guess that would sort of give a reason for Odell's frustrations as well. Yeah,
if this thing's been just lingering and he's not 100%, yikes.
I mean, that makes sense to a point of, little things. And it's like you can play with that, but you're constantly going to be having like sharp pains that happen and it'll bug you and it will throw you. Those slight little things will throw you off your game where you just can't be yourself all the time, and I think we've seen that a number of times this year with balls that he probably should have caught, just sort of being on a different page a little bit with Baker. But it's not like people don't play with sports hernias. They do,
right?
Now, depending on how bad it is. I mean, clearly they must have thought it was decent enough to be able to play on the year.
Yeah, Beckham said they'll deal with it in the offseason. He also doesn't want to answer questions about him wanting to leave Cleveland. The Browns won, and here we are, post game, talking about all kinds of like bullshit that's not related to the game. I mean, the game is so bad.
I watched it. I sat there, watched the whole thing, and I'm thinking like this. It's not enjoyable, right?
Yeah, I was bored to death. Just like
we should be rolling this team over. Meanwhile, you got 2 guys in the backfield that you should probably just. The whole thing. I don't know how you come back with Freddie. They're going to most likely come back with Freddie. I don't know how you do it. It's just so frustrating because there's so much. There was so much potential to this season, and we've just left so much to be desired. It's almost over, and it's like this is not what anybody had hoped for. We're sitting here having to watch us play a 1-11 team that shouldn't even be on the same field as us. We were hoping for playoffs, and we're watching this garbage, and they're just barely scraping by.
14-13 at half. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Mayfield, 11 of 24, 192 yards, 2 more picks, no touchdowns. I don't understand how can this be so different than the dude that was, moving around the pocket and throwing bullets accurately all over the place.
Yeah, and he threw a couple really bad balls today that I don't know what's going on, Baker. The offensive line wasn't an issue today. I mean, the Bengals' defensive line gets 0 pressure, and having Lamb in there, I mean, here's another thing. It's like you got Lamb in there for Hubbard, who I couldn't tell that we were missing Hubbard. If you're typically when you're missing a starter, you go, hey, that was a glaring hole that just happened. I didn't see that. Now, is it because we were playing the Bengals that happens?
That's my guess.
Yeah, it's so hard to go judge. Well, how much better is Lamb than Hubbard? I mean, I know he can't be worse. It's hard to be worse than what Hubbard's been up to this point.
Yeah,
I don't know, dude. I'm just sort of lost for words on this team. I'm over this season already, and somehow we're still in the hunt, right? We're still in the hunt to now. Tennessee's beating Oakland right now, and I think if they win, it's basically over. at that point. But
yeah, pretty close. Or the Titans would have to lose. Browns would have to go to 9-7, I think, and the Titans would have to go 8-8.
There's not a chance in hell we beat Baltimore now without, with this team. I mean, defensively, they're gashing us. We were gashed over and over in the pass and the run. I mean, I don't know how guys can possibly get when there's 11 defenders on the football field. How is it that you catch the ball and you have 10 yards of open space? There's 11 dudes out there. It doesn't. I mean, you could run 40 yards down the field and somebody's still within 10 yards of you. I've never seen guys so wide open over and over, and they're just gashing us in the run game. Defensively, there's no. To me, defensively, it's just a lack of horses, right? It's not what they're doing schematically. What they're doing schematically, to me, is just they're running a typical. This is a normal defense that you're trying to run. Steve Wilkes talked about in his press conference. Hey, we got to try to create pressure by either blitzing or we're going to do a lot more stunting, as we've seen that. I mean, you don't have defensive linemen here to really create any kind of pressure. And then if Andy Dalton is an average quarterback, but if he's got enough time to just stand back there and look down the field and wait for a guy to get open, he's gonna hit an open receiver. Right. So, he's an NFL quarterback for Christ's sakes. So you just at that point you go, hey, we're not going to win all these pass reps, but we got to be a lot better in the run game. And then we end up giving up like 23 carries, 146 yards, and a touchdown to Mixon. That's 6.3 average per carry. My God.
Yeah.
And he's been terrible all year, Mixon has.
Yeah, there was times where I was like we are for the Browns. We were like, just hand the ball to Chubb. Just hand the ball to Mixon. Like, I don't know what the fuck they were doing some of those times. Just like, just turn around and give him the ball. He's going to get 8 yards.
Yeah, Dalton wasn't terrible, but he did miss some pretty. No. He had a couple just terrible looking throws, like right in the ground. I mean, 22 of 38 for 262 and an interception. That's peak Andy Dalton right there. Right? Yeah. That's what you get when you go, Andy Dalton, that's our guy. So overall, it's just a lackluster game. It feels like guys are going through the motions. And right now, every week that remains on the schedule seems like one more week where there's going to be drama. It's not really, it's not like we're getting anything out of these games other than more opportunity for drama. That's what it feels like. From one week to the next, it's like, what's next? We're out of the playoffs at this point. Freddie's either going to prove to us that we need to change coaches, or he's going to win some meaningless games that proves to other people that he should be here because he finished with a winning record after going 2-7 or whatever the hell we were to start off the season, 2-5 or whatever the hell we were.
Yeah.
They go, well, he turned it around, and exactly what I said was going to happen. Hey, you're going to start playing a bunch of weak-ass teams. You've yet to beat anybody that you should have, except for Baltimore early in the year, and that's due to Baltimore figuring out what they're going to do with their defense. Since then, Baltimore went and made some changes on their defense, and they've been a hell of a lot better. Where's the adjustments for the Browns? The good teams seem to do that, right? You recognize where your weaknesses are early in the season, and then you fix it. Freddie talked about it so much in the offseason, but we've continued to basically have the same problems week in, week out. What do we have for penalties this week?
Penalties 6 for 30.
Oh, I was going to say we had 6 at halftime, so we didn't even have a second half penalty then.
Yeah.
Well, okay, because at halftime I'm going, oh, well, we're on pace for 12. There we go.
I'm trying to think what they were. They're all 5-yard penalties.
Yeah, a bunch of bullshit, basically. Lining up, Greg Robinson back to his penalty ways.
Yeah,
he got a false start. I mean, I mean, what we gave up 2 sacks on the day, or Baker? Maybe it was just one. But both of those, Njoku's blocking a defensive end on one, and then the other Carlson's blocking a defensive end on the second one. So the offensive line was fine today. The only way they got beat was when they had a tight end getting stuck on a defensive end, which you're basically going to lose that rep 9 out of 10 times.
We only gave up 1 sack, Carl Lawson's sack.
Yeah, that was against Njoku early in the game.
Yeah, and I think the other one, there might have been a defensive penalty that negated the sack or something.
And then they had one other time where they hit Baker, but it was it had a free rush.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Dunlap, right? Didn't he fucking nail him? on one?
I can't remember. He came off the edge and had a free rush, basically. I believe, actually, we completed the pass. But do you want to go through the game?
Yeah, let's do it.
So we kicked off to them, if you recall.
Yeah, Bengals ball first.
Were you worried about this as they went right down? They went right down like a warm knife through butter.
I was a little surprised. That's where I was like, oh, wow. There's no anger here. There's no. It just felt like the team just was like, all right, well, it's Sunday. We just got to do this. Let's get this over with.
Yeah. So it was Tyler Boyd for 21, very first play from scrimmage after they started on the 25-yard line. They followed that up with Joe Mixon for 26. So 57 yards on the very first two plays. Okay, this is fantastic. Second down and 9, it was Tyler Boyd again for 14. What do he have? He seemed to be their top receiver for the day, right?
5 catches, 75 yards on 6 targets.
Yeah, so pretty efficient out of him. So that gave him another first down, and Bernard got stopped for 0, and it was Ogunjobi. Ogunjobi making a couple plays yet again. He had a little bit of pressure. There was not a lot of pressure. I think, Brian Cox had the sack on the day, or a couple pressures.
Him and Ogunjobi shared that sack.
Oh,
and
they
then
did?
Our other sack was Sheldon.
I don't know. I mean, Ogunjobi touched him after the fact, but I don't know about halfsies on that. I think that's, in my opinion, that's a Brian Cox sack.
Yeah.
And then on the Twitter machine, as I love it, like Brian Cox, finally you realize that he's even alive. He's made a play, and then you get on there and people go, I think this guy's a player. Yeah, he's a player. Yeah, he's a player. I mean, he is. That's technically the term to use. He is an NFL player at this moment. Not for probably real long, but he is one currently. So yeah, Ogunjobi on that stop. Then we got to third down and 3, and it was they're down on the 6-yard line, and it was incomplete. Dalton threw it away, but threw it right through the middle where there's no receiver, and got the intentional grounding call, if you recall. So it made the field goal a little bit longer, moved it back from what would have been like a 24-yarder to a 34-yarder, and ended up Bullock hit it. Pretty windy day there in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Which makes that Seibert one so much more impressive.
Oh, that
was one later in the game.
That was a great kick.
Really impressive kick.
Yeah. So 3-0 Cincinnati, then right to OBJ, right? From the get, I believe.
Yeah, and Lamb was starting. Now, real quick, Vernon was out on defense, but on offense, I talked about Hubbard was out, and also Demetrius Harris missed the game. So then we came out, and early in the game, it was Steven Carlson getting the starting snaps, and it looked to be they were playing the tight ends sort of by like groupings. However the personnel groupings were going to be. Carlson definitely looks to be like the guy they're going to use as your blocking tight end. And
right.
But there's the times they went to like 3 tight end sets. There's times where they went to 2 tight end sets and they used Njoku and Carlson. And there's times where they use Ricky Seals-Jones in there as well. So that's what I mean. I'm telling you, Njoku's out of here, in my opinion. I think that's crazy. I think the guy has a ton of upside. If you and there's things you're going to be able to do with him that you just are not going to get out of most tight ends in this league. I know everybody wants to talk about his hands. Well, his hands, blah blah blah, and it's like, dude, he can get you 50 catches a year and do things athletically. Like, it's just not normal that you get that stuff out of a tight end. He's not going to be Travis Kelce. You wish he was going to be Travis Kelce. He's not going to be Travis Kelce, but he can do things offensively. And especially in the red zone, I love how the first time they get down in the red zone with him, they split him out and then throw the jump ball. Didn't everybody in the world see that coming?
Yeah.
As soon as you split them out, it's like,
so.
Oh my God, Freddie, like at least try to hide this shit a little bit. It's so, come on, man. But there's things you can do with this guy. To me, we've missed that all year. And then what do? They come back to this game and they don't use him. It's so reminiscent of Higgins.
Yeah, Higgins right? What did Higgins even play today? He doesn't have a target.
I didn't see him out there. You know who I saw was Hodge and the other cat that they
Ratley.
That's what I'm saying. It's mind numbing. I don't even know what to talk. What is the plan, dude? What are we trying to do? That would be my what are you trying to do, Freddie? What do you want to do?
Yeah.
What are you doing with this team? Are you just looking to the future at this point? Because you just go, Higgins isn't going to be here? What are we doing?
Higgins is gone.
He's
sure.
gone.
I mean,
he's gone.
Yeah.
There's not a chance in hell. And Njoku, I'm telling you, Njoku's the next dude out, and for no reason other than it's just not my guy. That's what this stuff is all about. Higgins is not my guy.
That's what it feels like. Yeah.
The whole thing is, we went and drafted Chad goddamn Thomas when you had Nassib, you had Agba. You wasted a 3rd-round pick. That's what I was so mad about. That's the things that we get angry about. It's like don't fix something that doesn't need to be fixed. You already have young guys at that position. Use it on an asset of something that you actually need. You don't need a defensive end, but he goes, those guys aren't my guy. Those aren't my guys, so I got to bring my guy in here. You're getting nothing else. Chad Thomas will never do anything that you wouldn't have got from Carl Nassib or you wouldn't have got from Agba. It's never going to happen. And he can even if he ends up getting by the way sacks here or there, at the end of the day, he's never going to be a 12-sack guy ever in his career. He's never going to be a game-changing defensive end. He is a body. That's what he is. Yeah. You already had bodies there. Don't add.
Right, and it wasn't like you had to pay Nassib or Agba yet,
Yes.
But that's what's going to happen. 2 or 3 years.
That's what's going to happen.
Doesn't make any sense.
It's going to happen with Njoku. You could easily have Njoku for 2 more years and then decide what you want to do with him, and they're going to probably get rid of him, and they're just going to bring in a body. And he's not going to be as versatile. They're not going to find a guy that can do the things that he does. Now, maybe they want to just get a guy that's better blocking or whatever they want to do. That's fine. But you can at least find a role for this dude. Because you're not going to find the style of receiver that he can go out and make big plays. He can be we desperately missed him in the red zone this season. And it's not like he's going to go make every single goddamn play. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that it gives you a meaningful target when the chips are down, you go, we got to go to somebody who's the one guy that can just go up and get one. That's the guy.
Yeah.
So there's things, man. You can't just continue just to get rid of players that are just fine. Like, you get rid of players when they get too expensive. Okay? When you're paying Jason McCourty like $2 million, whatever. Remember how cheap his contract was? You're paying him $2 million. Even if he's not going to start for you, he can be your backup, and you're still only paying him $2 million. Now we already have guys that are backup cornerbacks now on the roster that are making $7 million. You had a dude here for $2 million.
Not my guy.
Not my guy. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what we're talking about when we say not my guy. It's not saying that TJ Carey or Mitchell is so much worse than McCourty. Okay, I don't think they're as good, but at the same point, they're not that far off. There's so many there's a giant group of NFL players that are just boom. They're in the middle. They're like, fine, I'm okay. I'm a decent NFL player, but that's when it comes down to money. Now we're talking about money. So if you can just go and get the cheapest guy in that group, then you stick with the cheapest guy. You don't try to upgrade a guy that isn't any better than the dude you already have there just because you didn't bring in the original guy. And that's what's happened up to this point. Sorry for going on that tangent.
No, it had to be discussed. It's just like what you're saying. It doesn't make any sense that you can't find a spot for Njoku or Higgins or whoever.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, maybe that's not it. Maybe it's just Njoku's first game back. But snap wise, I'm sorry, my son just came in here and now he's beating on the drum. All right, let's see. So we got the ball, and right away, what did we do? We started at 25. Did we return that?
Our own 23.
Our own 23. Very first play, OBJ 19 yards, and here we go. OBJ is going to get it. He's going to have a big game today right off the bat. And then you go, oh, I can't, why is he frustrated? Well, because he got one more catch for the rest of the game. That's why.
Yeah. I don't understand how they can't use him, or if he's not getting open, or if he's just getting doubled up, or whatever's happening there. It's weird.
Yeah. And
I don't know if it's Mayfield. I don't know if it's the system. I don't know.
I don't know either anymore. I don't even know what to say.
This team's
about it
so
anymore.
frustrated. Yeah.
Yeah. So you come back after that. First down, Landry for 5. Second down and 5, you run Chubb for the one of his 3 carries in the first half. So Chubb goes for 3, and you get to a third down and 2. And here's where Mayfield takes off and runs, picks up 7. And I've heard from a lot of people where they want to see more of that out of Mayfield.
He's done it in the past, so he's mobile, he's athletic.
Yeah, but a lot of people tell me like, hey, I think he's got lanes there, and he doesn't always run it when he should, and that might be the case. Maybe Baker will pull some more balls down and start running, but he comes right back, fires a bullet to Landry for 17. I can't necessarily remember what that exact play was. Do you recall?
No,
Okay.
I don't.
And then if he followed that up, now it hits Njoku. A little high, Njoku kind of bobbles it, and the defender comes down on top of Njoku. I just do not understand how that can possibly be an interception and not down by contact there. Nick Vigil
I don't know.
was a defender. Because the tie goes to the offense, even if it is a tie. Like if you want to go, it's a tie where clearly he had the ball first, and then the dude sticks his hands in there, and then they go down to the ground. And because Nick Vigil's the one who comes with I would like to see that. Like I want to actually hear from an official go through that whole thing and explain to me how and why that's called the way that it is, because it makes little sense to me how that's just not down by contact there.
Or even if even if you're gonna say, well, he didn't have control, and the defender got control through the ground. Why did they let him get up and run?
Oh yeah, that's all right. Forget I wasn't even getting that far on it. Yeah, right. I don't know. Is he saying because he was on top of him and maybe he never got touched down? Is that what they're claiming? No, I'm looking. I'm watching the replay of the game. Again, I'm on NFL.com. Right, they have the little highlights up there right after the game. He rolls over onto his shoulder. He's down right there. They reviewed this. It's that's such a fucking catch. And then, oh my God, you're right. I forgot about that part of it.
It took it back 20 yards.
They get almost out to midfield.
49. Yeah.
You know what, dude? Fuck you, NFL. I'm so sick of the NFL, dude.
It's something every week. With the replay
week.
I don't get it.
All right, they get the ball.
Yeah. Okay, so after the interception, Cincinnati 49, Mixon for 12.
Yeah, right off the bat, another easy gain. Ogunjobi tackling him 12 yards deep.
Yeah, and then they a big play, 3rd and 8, and Mixon got a penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct, I think.
Yeah, talking shit, right? He started pushing Greedy Williams.
Yeah, that's right.
For no apparent reason.
Yeah, Greedy did the right thing of just putting his hands in the air like, I'm not doing nothing. That made it 3rd and 23.
I can't remember. Was that after Greedy missed that tackle where he tried to tackle him with his back again? Dear God.
Yeah, it might have been.
Fucking Greedy, man. Technique, bro. I mean, who's working with these people?
Right. So 3rd and 15, or 3rd and 23, not an easy...
Yeah, it doesn't help out your quarterback, does it?
Right, yeah. And then Denzel Ward picks it off and takes it to the house.
Yep. And he's been playing better of late. I remember he started off the season not, he had a couple games there that weren't up to what Denzel Ward would say was his best ball. But man, he's been getting it done lately. Bad pass there, but you got to take advantage of those shitty offensive plays and bounces to him and took it to the house.
The next series for them, a bunch of gash plays here. Boyd for 15, Bernard for 13. Then they had
double reverse. Yeah.
To Alex Erickson throws to Bernard for 26, down to the Cleveland 21, and then we put the stop on them there.
Yeah, Richardson made a big play, stopped Bernard at -2, which helped on that. And then they had to settle for what? Almost, actually, remember, that was later in the game. I was thinking that was where Red Wine almost picked that one off, but that was a little bit later. How long was that?
44 yards.
44 yards, okay.
Yeah, big sack on 3rd down by Richardson.
Ah, that's right, yeah.
7-6. We start on our own 18. I don't know why kick returners continue to take the ball out of their own end zone. But
it's as if it's almost like the special teams coaches don't look at the data, which is hard to believe that you don't look at the data of catching the ball in the end zone and where you get to, and they continue to go, yeah, why not? Let's just go against every single piece of literature that's out there on this. Continue to not get back to the 25.
Yeah. Okay. Slant to OBJ almost gets picked off there.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it was only a couple plays later.
Yep, 3rd and 11. Ball tips, another tipped interception, right? Hodge would have had to make a fucking spectacular catch on that.
And he's open, and Baker has time. So I really want to go back and look at this one from an all-22 aspect and see why Baker throws it the way he does. Because he should have been throwing that to the middle of the field, shouldn't he? It looked like to me, Hodge was running to the middle of the field, and he threw it on his outside shoulder, and it gets tipped.
Yeah, Baker's just, I don't know, he's just been off accurate-wise.
There's two receivers there. One is Hodge, and then one is the outside receiver that was maybe Landry, who's running like a square in. Both of them are wide open. I don't know, dude. I'm lost for words with this offense.
Yeah.
I mean, Baker's got to be better. Everybody wants us to sit here and call out Baker. Okay, well, Baker's got to be better. I thought Baker played one of his worst games today that he's played all season.
Yeah.
Doesn't change the fact Baker's still your quarterback. He ain't going anywhere. So we need Baker to play better. We need Baker to play better, but we also need to figure out a way to get this offense going. I get it that it starts with Baker, but man, there's other things here that could be helping this. And we've seen it in the past, like today, a lot of this is on Baker, right? Like that throw, for instance. But in the past games, it really hasn't been the case. Like if Baker gets to the back of his drop and gets sacked after he just takes his five-step drop, there's not much he can do. Now, that wasn't the case today. So today, a lot of this is on Baker, a lot of it. Let's not act like that's happening every week. That's not happening every week. Most weeks, he's getting zero time to get into the back of his drop and find an open receiver.
Yeah, and if you got no time to go through your progressions or anything, it's just...
Yeah, and that wasn't the case today. He's just missing open receivers, where before, Baker's hitting... If you have an open receiver, he's hitting it 9 times out of 10. But today, that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. I don't know, dude. I
don't know either.
I don't know. I don't know anymore. Because everything that's happened up to this point, if you just played the laws of average of how his career has come in college and to last year, he hits that throw most times, and now all of a sudden he's missing it. Why? I don't fucking know, dude. I don't know anymore.
It feels like everything's off, and then I think it's also reflected in Mayfield that, like everything seems to be one step slow. Or
you got.
It's just.
I mean, how many times have we seen where receivers are bunched up? They're running the same exact pattern, and there's no spacing between. That's what I mean. Everything is off from the fact of like guys aren't lining up quickly enough. I mean, they're lackadaisical today, and even getting to the goddamn line. Just everything. And if it's not that, then all of a sudden now this week the offensive line can't block the defensive ends. If it's not that, all of a sudden your guard can't block the defensive tackle. If it's not that, your receiver is dropping a ball. If it's not that, you're not running the ball enough. If it's just every week, it's something else.
How about the week Chubb back-to-back fumbles? The dude's been great every week, and then one game, it's just like, oh, now he's falling apart. The team is just like discombobulated a little bit. Mm-hmm. It never runs smooth. Anyway, end of the first quarter. Boy, they just fucking, I don't know. This is where I think this is after this drive, I was like, I don't think the Browns want to be here. 3rd and 5, they hit Erickson. It was just 6-yard pass, wide open. I mean, it's so easy.
Yeah, 3rd down and 5. Yeah, can't get any easier than that.
Yeah, into Cleveland territory. 12 defensive players on the field. 1st and 5.
Still can't stop them.
Mixon swing pass for 29.
Oh, no problem. 29. That's the one where Greedy got ran over, isn't it?
Yeah.
For sure. It's 24 yards is what it was.
Oh, 24, okay.
Yeah.
Boyd for 15, and then down to the Cleveland 2, or whatever it was, Boyd for, I think, 15. And then Mixon just walks in. Okay, 13-7. Cincinnati.
You know what? That one that went to Mixon, if you watch that play, somebody's not playing the right coverage because one, Redwine's dropping into like a deep zone, and Mac is playing like what would be like your hook zone there as like the middle linebacker, and nobody covers the flat. So it's either Redwine or Mac there that didn't pick up the running back. And again, this goes like people want to go, well, see what fucking Wilkes did? He designed a defense where nobody covers the running back. And that's not the case. I'm telling you, it's either Redwine or Mac Wilson blew that up. Like they screwed that up. And look, the rookies, it's going to happen. You're going to have miscommunications. The problem is when you continue to get these chunk plays over and over. I mean, what'd you say there? You had 16 yards and you come back with 24 yards. Like you want to get like 120-yard play, 120-yard gain a game would make you happy. Like you can't be giving up this chunk yardage is what kills you. Make an offense earn it. Make them get to even 3rd down and 2s because the more times you get to, even if it's 3rd down and short, it's just one play. The problem is it's 1st down and we're giving up 16 yards, or it's 2nd down and 4 and we're giving up 24. We're not even forcing 3rd downs, and when we did, I don't know, what were they on 3rd down today? It's not like Andy Dalton threw some shitty passes on 3rd down. On what, like 3rd down and 3, 3rd down and 5. Threw some shitty passes.
They were 3 of 12.
There you go. You got to get them there. But the problem is, so often we're not even getting there. We're just we're giving up these chunk plays on early downs.
Yeah, surprising stat here for the Browns: 7 of 12 on 3rd down.
Improving, and you said we're not improving.
One of our better showings this season on 3rd downs. Let's see. After the touchdown, okay, 13-7, 12 minutes to go in the first half.
The fact that we're even losing to this piece of shit team.
Yeah, yeah. This is the interest. This is kind of an interesting. Yeah. Chubb for 1, then Greg Robinson false start. So 2nd and 14. Hit Chubb for a check down for like 10 yards to get a lot of that back. Yeah, and then that's called back on a Landry illegal shift because he's not getting set when he comes in motion. 2nd and 19 was incomplete.
And 3rd and 19. Yeah. 3rd and 19.
3rd and 19, you're going to pick that up.
Yeah. 20 yards.
That's the
Jarvis
good
Landry.
Mayfield.
But that is, he throws a bullet there. That is also the bad defense that you're playing, where you drop in that zone. I hate it. I just hate to see it, right? Like as a football fan, I hate to see you're going to run this zone. You're going to leave a wide open hole right in the middle for Landry just to walk right into and sit down. I mean, I love it as a Browns fan, but I just hate it as a football fan that like your defenders aren't recognizing. He's going to run to the sticks, and he's going to sit down. It's not that hard to figure out, guys. Let's go. Like, what the fuck? And he throws it right down the middle and completes it on 3rd and 19. So good catch by Landry. Nice throw by Baker there.
Yep. Then follow that up with another big play to Hunt, a screen pass. Or was it a check down? I wrote screen.
Swing.
Was it
Do you remember? No, it was like they kind of faked. Maybe they faked a run and then sort of he was in motion and threw a little swing pass. Nice little play design there where you get people moving. You know, it's a little bit of deception. Goes a long way in the NFL. Get people thinking it's going this way and throw it the other way. Yeah, and then that's what picked up that 29 yards.
Yeah. So, again, this is all passes. Incomplete.
You got to run the ball. Sorry.
Yeah. 3rd and 5 hit OBJ for 20.
Yep.
Down to the Cincinnati 10. Then they ran the ball. Chubb for 4.
Yeah, OBJ made a nice little move after they caught that ball, get a little bit extra yardage there. And then, so they got down to the 9, Chubb for 3.
Yep.
And then 2nd down goal, incomplete. Baker just threw it away. Nothing there.
That's right. And then scrambles on 3rd and goal. Actually makes a really athletic dive to the end zone.
Yep. And reaches the ball over the pylon. Touchdown. Brings us back to 14-13. 14-13 gets us a lead.
14-13. And we force a quick 3 and out. Needed that one there.
Badly needed that one.
Yeah. So there's still a little bit of time. 5 minutes in the half?
Not only did we force the 3 and out, we got excellent field position because we started from the Cincy 46. Remember? It was after the Hilliard. Hilliard got a decent little return there. It was a shitty punt. Hilliard bounced. Hilliard picked it up, returned it for, 10 yards or whatever. Started at the Cincy 45, 46, 47 yard line, right around there. And then Baker gets sacked on first down after. And this is where you have Njoku blocking Carl Lawson. Like, if that's the case, if you're going to ask him to do that, then you have to know your time is limited. It's not like he just instantly beat him, like he got his hands on him, but you can't. At that point, you go, oh, we have a good pass rusher against a tight end. We got to get this ball out real quick.
And it was play action too, so that even takes extra time. Because basically faked the handoff and then immediately sacked.
Right. Okay. Maybe that's what slowed Baker down. It wasn't because I can't remember exactly. I do recall that he got to the back of his drop there, but I couldn't remember if he how the whole play went down there. Yeah. So that's interesting. Okay, that might have had something to do with it there.
And then OBJ
phenomenal catch.
Catches one going out of bounds, but he obviously didn't catch it.
Did you see him too? He's like, "Hurry up, go to the line." He was telling everybody, "Hurry up, get up here, let's run this play," because he knew he was out of bounds.
Yeah, got challenged and overturned.
The refs. Now that one went in our favor, but it's like the dude's looking right down the line. He was looking right down the line, and he goes, "Yeah, look good to me." I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, fuck it, give it to him.
It's close enough.
3rd and 15. He looks for OBJ again, incomplete. So a little 3 and out for us.
Which is a huge.
We took no time off the clock.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. That was huge for Cincy. 1, we didn't take any time off the clock, and 2, we had like fantastic field position to start.
Yeah, then kind of a bad punt. The hammer.
Yeah.
They started on their own 22.
Wide receiver screen on first, Erickson for 12, so there's a gash. And Mixon comes back with a 10-yard run, gash. Then a reverse to Tyler Boyd for 7. Now you know what I mean? Like, it's not, they're picking up way too many yards on first down. This is a first down, 12, 10, and 7. That's your 3 first down plays to start the drive.
Yeah, so you're already at midfield.
Now, 2nd down and 3, you got saved because this is a nice play for the Bengals. You get single coverage. Mixon's running, what do you call that route? The wheel route, right?
Yeah.
Well, you get one-on-one coverage with Wilson on him, but Wilson, the one thing that he did excellent in college, he's continued to do a good job at it this year, man. Like, the guy can cover, right? There's going to be times this year where he's missed his gap responsibility. I think the longer you play linebacker, the better you're going to get at that. That doesn't necessarily come with like natural talent, but when it comes to coverage, to me, that recognition of coverage and being able to run with the guys that are more athletic than you, that's a natural ability. It's something that you either have or you don't, and Mac Wilson definitely has that. So he needs it. There's areas he needs to improve in, but the fact that he's able to make the kind of play that he made on this and get the PBU on this play, like that shows you a lot. There's a lot of raw talent to work with Mac Wilson.
Yeah, agreed. 3rd and 3, incomplete to Boyd. They had to punt.
No, 0. I wrote down 0 pressure. And that kind of up to this point, like Andy Dalton, he's taking the snap, he's eating a sandwich, he's looking around, he's texting his wife to see what's up after the game, and then he's throwing. He has all day back there.
Yeah,
55 seconds.
The Browns,
go ahead.
Going to go 3 and out as well, correct?
Well, what do you do here? So you're going to start 25-ish, 27-ish yard line. Sorry, I didn't write down exactly where they were. They had like 55 seconds left.
Our own 7, we got the ball back.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I skipped one more down. There was like 1:40 left, right? Our own 7. I skipped to where they were. And first down, so you got to run it. Like that deep, you're going to have to run some clock. And you're sort of hoping that you get the same thing you got from the week before where Hunt picks up 15 in consecutive carries.
Yeah.
Because other than that, you're just going to run out the clock here.
Yeah, so you get Hunt for 7, and then Beckham false starts.
Right.
So second and 3 comes second and 8. They give the ball to Hunt again for 3, and then 3rd and 5, incomplete to Ratley.
Who was I wrote down bad throw here. This was another one where he's off target to Ratley, and then they punt. So Baker, this one's on Baker. And that I'll freely admit this was a bad game for Baker. I'll say that 100%. People want me to say that. I'm saying it. Do you feel better now? Probably not. Probably still feeling shitty.
Yeah, so we get a good punt. They start from their own 18 with about a minute to go. Erickson for 10 on first down again. Big play. Defensive hold. Where did I write that? Defensive hold. Was that on Greedy?
Wait, what play is this? I'm sorry. I'm trying to find it on my thing. After they pick the ball back up, they start on their 22.
No, next drive.
Oh, right before half. I'm sorry. Hold on.
1 minute to go in the half.
All right,
Erickson for 10.
It was Greedy Williams, yes. Holding
Okay.
on Greedy, yes.
Bernard for 3, and there was a blindside block.
Yeah, Tate. Auden Tate with the blindside block.
Yeah.
They had a couple penalties where you just went, what was the point of that? That hold that was downfield later in the game, which might have even, they're sort of both holding one another.
Yeah.
It's like, man, you guys are just killing yourself. And like we already covered the one Mixon penalty earlier in the game that set him back and led to the Andy Dalton interception for a touchdown.
Yeah, so it was 3rd and a lot.
3rd and 20.
And 3rd and 20. And then Eifert picks up a few. There's like 20 seconds on the clock. Freddie doesn't call timeout for some reason.
Was there 20? I was thinking there was. It might have been. Yeah, because on the clock started with 31. So you're right. There probably was 20, and they're on the Cincinnati 24. So if you call timeout and you get a nice little return, I mean, you're only a couple, like a play or two away of being in field goal position.
Yeah, that was one I was just like, okay, even if you're like, well, we don't want to make a mistake here on the return, don't even put a returner back, but make them snap the ball to the least athletic dude on the field who is the punter. Like make them punt it.
To get after,
maybe you get a block.
Go after the punter in that case.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't, and here's where we'll have to find out what old Tony Grossi. Weird. Let's see, find out what Tony Grossi had to say about it. See if he asked Freddie, "Why didn't you call a timeout?" It made little sense. Little sense. Freddie's probably going, "Hey, we're getting the ball after halftime," but still, man. I mean,
just to make them punt it.
Yeah, I get Freddie. Freddie's probably recognizing at times he's been over aggressive. But then he goes through lapses of over-aggressiveness to like not doing enough. So, it's one or the other. It's like he needs to find a happy medium here, like how to play these things, because you can really kind of roast them for both.
Yeah, it's been, first year head coach stuff, I guess.
Yeah, that is true. So we go into halftime, sitting 14-13, right?
14-13, yeah. They had the ball for, I don't know, basically the entire half, it seemed like. Well, time of possession was skewed in their favor. Total plays, they ran 72 plays to our 52.
Ooh, we only ran 52 plays. And then, again, that goes back, and I've talked about this so many times, when your offense is as inefficient as we have been this year, you don't get as many opportunities. When we talked about it at the beginning of the year, it's like we're going to be able to pick up first down after first down. That's what my prediction was, if the offensive line played well enough. Well, in this game, the offensive line did play good enough, and you still didn't pick up those first downs. So, at least as it goes for this game, I was off on that. But now when we get into the second half and we start running the ball, which you'll see, we just pound, especially in this series coming out of at halftime, we go right down the field like it's nothing, and we start pounding the ball. And we're more efficient. But the problem is, we have these guys on the outside that aren't getting the ball, and frustration is building. Yeah,
so Browns ball first out of half, and then, it's just run. Hunt for 6, Chubb for 1. 3rd and 3, Chubb for 7. And then from our own 40, Chubb,
what did you
57-yarder.
I'm sorry, before that, though, that 3rd down and 2, Chubb is in as like the little he's like the fullback, and Hunt is the deep guy. and they do like the little fullback dive with him, and Chubb, he's just so hard to bring down, man. He's like he's like Marshawn Lynch, Jamal Lewis. He's just a great power back. I mean, he's been phenomenal this year, and then you follow that up, like you said, with 57 yards, and the announcer, she said, what? I counted, what'd she say, 5 or 7 tackles, whatever it was. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know if I counted that many, but good Lord.
Yeah, it was a bunch of missed tackles there. And Chubb just constantly moved. I thought he was going to score.
It felt like while he was running, I was thinking, I've seen this run, and this is a house. This is one that he takes to the house.
Yeah.
Phenomenal this year, man. I mean, for all the problems that we've had and the things that we look back at this year and we go, we're super frustrated. Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt have been outstanding.
Yeah, no doubt.
And people go, well, at least we can, I've had this at people, at least we can run block. That's not really the case. That's really not the case. I'm telling you, Nick Chubb is making runs that don't even exist. His vision, that's one of the most underrated things about Nick Chubb. Like, he's so hard to bring down. He's got good speed. He's just, a bulldozer. But the way he sees the holes open up, man, he can see them and he hits them. And I think Jake Burns had posted one about, hey, Nick Chubb missed this hole last week. I don't know if you ever saw that. It was on Twitter. He missed this hole where he's literally following his blocker. So, yeah, there's this huge hole to the left. If you're going to tell me, like, you're going to take 250 carries from a guy and you're going to go, hey, he missed a hole in 250 okay, yeah. I know. Like, you're not going to bat 1,000, okay? But for the most part, this guy's batting average is 999, all right? It's not 1,000, it's 999. He missed one. Like, come on. There's plenty of things to get upset about this team. Nick Chubb, vision is not one of them.
Yeah, he just seems to know when to cut back. He kind of knows when to go to the outside. You know what I mean? Like, he does have a good feel for it. And you always feel like, even when you see the play develop, you're like, oh shit, there's no room. And then somehow he's like, he'll pick up like 7. And you're like, fuck, it just didn't look like there was anything there. But he's been very efficient.
He's been phenomenal. And so that got him down to the 3-yard line. And then this is where you split out Njoku. You get a good matchup, but with the linebacker, this is clearly pass interference. Right? I mean, so it's a good idea, but again, like the announcers even bring it up, like, is that like it's not an efficient play. It's nice that you have him back and you can do that, but you just ran the ball right down their throats. Right. 6, 2, 7, 57. We're gonna throw jump ball. And I'm not, I am anti, you gotta run the ball. I'm not that guy. But at the same point, like, I mean, come on. Like, it would have been the icing on the cake, and it sort of was, so that goes incomplete, and you bring in Kareem Hunt, and he runs to the left, and it's wide open, it's easy touchdown. At some point, you have to impose your will, and they were, and then they're like, let's throw a jump ball for no apparent reason other than just to do it because Njoku's back. I like the thought that, hey, Njoku's a red zone target, we missed him, but man, come on.
So 21-13, and then Cincinnati puts together a nice drive. Fairly long drive, too, I think. Erickson for 8. They start on their own 14. Mixon for 6 to their own 28. Is there anything in here that
second down and 5, Auden Tate had a 16-yarder. Is that where he got hurt? Right?
Yep.
That's where he went out. I think that might have been his only catch of the game. Then that followed up by a Mixon reception where Mac Wilson missed a tackle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'll happen. Second down and 1, Mixon. Then second down and 1, Mixon, 19 yards. That was a gasher. A couple plays later, second down and 7, Mixon stiff-armed Ward, planted him into the ground, picked up 7. 3rd and inches, that got us to. And then this is where I actually thought it was a first down because this is deep. Like, this is down into the red zone.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was a first down. It looked like he picked up the first down, but they marked it short, and it ended up being 3rd and inches, and then they run like the little tight end flat pass, and Redwine makes the best play that he's made all year. Almost picks it off.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Almost picks it off. If he would have, it would have been, I would have taken back all the bad things I've said about him. Since he didn't make the play, I'm going to continue to talk badly about him. And so they got the 4th down in inches. Mixon ended up picking that up. That followed up 1st and goal
almost
on the 2.
didn't pick that one up also.
It could have
the
been
Browns
close.
thought he was short.
His knee went down. I've seen first downs be overruled, a la the what was his name last year? Against the Raiders.
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen worse calls by the NFL. A lot of them, if it was the Browns.
Carlos Hyde.
Yeah, Carlos Hyde. But this was the Bengals, so you don't even try to throw it. It's not us. If it's the other team against us, you throw the flag and challenge it because it will go against us every time. But in this one, you go, okay, it is what it is. First down, we'll just play it out. And then that's when Brian Cox Jr. comes with the sack. Have you studied Brian Cox Jr.? This guy has the flexibility of the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz. He looks like I don't know how. I mean, he makes a couple of plays here because then he followed that up where he got inside and caused a little bit of pressure. But
yeah, definitely his best series there, right?
This is not a long-term solution. I don't want to hear the Brian Cox fan. If there's like a Brian Cox fan page that all of a sudden goes on the internet, I'll be shocked. But it's sort of what I was seeing on Twitter.
Yeah, so that sack helped put them into a 3rd and long, incomplete field goal try from 28 yards is good. 21-16 Browns.
Yeah, and they're still in it. So they're making a game of it. And this ended up being a pretty good drive for us following that up.
Yeah, we got the ball back, 4:30 to go in the 3rd quarter. Chubb for 0.
Yeah, I was going to say, you just ran the ball right down their throats. Freddie obviously saw that and goes, let's do some of the same. Starts it off with Chubb for 0, but then follows it up with Hunt for 10. Then it was Chubb for, 11? I don't have exact yardage. They didn't do a good job. Yeah, they didn't do a good job of telling us what the yardage was here.
It's kind of tough sometimes because they want to show the camera view of just people standing on the sideline and shit. You're trying to write down but yeah, I wrote Chubb for 12, Chubb for 11, down to the Cincinnati 42.
And then you come back with Nick Chubb again for 11, Hunt then for 4. You follow that up, 2nd down and 6 on the Cincinnati 38 with a 3-yard run, and that gets you to 3rd down and 3. And this was we go empty, right? We go empty. 3rd down and 3. It's like running the ball is not out of the question on 3rd and 3. Therefore, you should at least give the illusion that it could happen. So when you go empty, there's not even a thought in a linebacker's mind that the ball could be run there. But you could. 3rd down and 3 is still a running down. This is what I hate about
especially where you're at here. Because you can, if you do run, you can go for it on 4th down.
Exactly.
If it's 4th and 1.
Exactly. But no, you go empty, and then clearly Carlson is not on the same page as Baker because Baker throws what he thinks he's gonna run the little stop route, a quick little quick stop, and Carlson's running down the field. So they're not on the same page. It goes incomplete, and now I was honestly thinking in my head as gusty as it was, you should go for this. So I really second guess Freddie. I would have probably gone for this. He had faith in Austin Seibert, and Seibert came out there and gusty win and kicked it perfect. I mean, he played the win perfect. It was like Tiger Woods golf on the Xbox or whatever, PlayStation, whatever you use at home.
Yeah, nice kick. 24-16, end of the 3rd quarter here. And the Cincinnati juggernaut offense is going to put a drive together.
Yeah, 16 plays, 8 minutes they took up on this drive. Our defense is fucking porous.
Very porous. Yeah, and then run the worst 4th and goal play I've ever seen.
Yeah. Well, it had worked earlier in the drive, if you can remember, right. 14 plays before.
Yeah, the 3rd and 2.
3rd and 2, Andy Dalton ran the little quarterback draw. Now, it sounded to me like Andy Dalton called a audible there. Do you think he audibled to the draw, or that was a play that was called in the huddle?
I'm not sure.
I'll look at it when I go back. Yeah, it looked like he definitely audibled. Or he was changing the protection or something. I don't know. He was saying something at the line, so I'll go back and check it out when I go. But that was a huge fourth down stop there in the red zone.
Obviously, because they didn't get it, there's probably some question there about should they have taken the points. Where were they at? About the 4-yard line or 3-yard line?
What was the score exactly there? It's 27-16, right?
24-16.
24-16. Okay, so 8-point game. It would make it,
7 minutes to go in the game.
I don't mind going for it there, but I'm like Freddie. I'm an aggressive coach. You're on the 6-yard line, and really they had it. I felt like the play before that he threw away, like just give Eifert a chance in the middle of the field. Instead, he just threw it out of bounds. I would have just threw it up to my cornerback who's being covered by safety and just hope that he can go up or my tight end who can go up and make a play.
Yeah.
So either way, it doesn't work out, and then we actually followed that up with. That was an 8-minute drive. We followed that up with a 6-minute drive, 14-play, 6-minute drive. And like the second half went by so quick because of these couple drives.
Yeah, I know. It's weird to only have 3 drives in the half.
Mm-hmm.
Start from our own 2, Chubb for 0, then a nice screenplay there. Chubb picks up 11.
Yeah, and that's the play where OBJ got upset about.
Yeah.
That was that second down and 10, and it's like, well, we just got a big-time first down there. There's only 7. We started off the drive, but there's like 7 minutes left in the game. We have to milk clock. We're up here by 8. And OBJ got upset about it. And that's, to me, that's off-putting, like, for the fact it's like, man, be happy that you guys got the first. I get that it hasn't gone your way, and I'm an Odell fan. I've always been an Odell fan since he's come into the league. Like, I like the way, I think he's a fantastic talent. But, dude, getting upset about it, you just look like a baby. Like, relax, man. Your stats at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Because just when we end up getting to where we should go as this team progresses, and maybe that's what he thinks. Maybe he doesn't think this team can progress to be a playoff team, a Super Bowl contender. But to me, I look at it, pieces are there. We just got to fix them, got to find some glue and patch up some of these issues. And he's going to be a huge part of that. Don't let your emotions get the best of you here.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, something's got to happen here with these last 3 games to have some sort of like positive energy going into the offseason about his status or his role with the team, or because it's not like the media is going to stop asking. That's never going to end until they leave the building, and then as soon as they come back in, it's going to start up all over again. Yeah. Oh, you're going to show up for training camp? Are you going to do this? Do you want to be here? Do you want to be traded? Like, I don't know. Sometimes you just can't take a firm stand.
Yeah, or just look, quit asking me about it. Like, this is where I'm playing. End of story. You can sort of put it to bed by that. This is the team I'm playing with. This is where I want to be. End of story. Like, let's not talk about it anymore.
That would be just the easiest way to do it. But
yeah, I know there's people that didn't want him because they go, hey, he just brings drama. And there is easy ways out of this whole thing. I think a lot of it is overblown. I think there's a lot of people read a lot into it. But yeah, there is ways that he could make a lot of these things easier on himself by just saying, going to those cliche quotes.
Yeah, just use your cliches and we'll be fine. Also, you're under contract. Go ahead. I mean, there's nothing he can do about it.
Yeah. Cleveland Browns pay me. Yeah. I'll be back next year.
Yeah. So from our own 13, we get to 3rd and 5. Baker throws to Beckham. It gets picked off and overturned.
Yeah, and they brought it. Tiki, Barber, Rondé, Tiki, whatever.
Yeah, Tiki.
He brought it up. The NFL seems to actually be calling what is pass interference now, and it's so true. I've seen this in a number of games, not only just watching the Browns, but watching other games where they're like, oh, we're actually going to call it by the way that it really went down, not just go, well, we don't, before they're just going, no, anything that's not like you actually getting molested, then it's not going to get reversed. And now they're going, oh, okay, well, if it's clear pass interference, but maybe not a guy being assaulted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's nice to see that you're actually going to call it by the letter of the law.
It's weird because it would seem like at the beginning of the season they weren't overturning anything.
There's no chance in hell they overturn that play in week 2.
Right.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. I'm telling you, it doesn't happen. And that's why people get so pissed off at the officiating. It's like you got such a great game, man. Like the product that's out there, you have such good talent, and you guys just can't officiate properly because you've made the rules so convoluted that nobody can figure out what's what. Sorry. Little guy's back in here talking.
Yeah, no problem. So we kept the ball. First down now. 5 minutes to go. Our own 23. Chubb for 2. Incomplete as they're still throwing the ball, which was a little bit weird. But and then 3rd and 8. Ricky Seals-Jones gets a 22-yarder.
Yeah.
His only target. Wide open, too.
Wide open. Yep. Good. Hey, get a first down, big first down there.
Yeah. Runs out of bounds for some reason, but
yeah,
whatever.
Chubb did that one too on that 12-yard reception earlier. That I was like, why'd you run out of bounds here? But okay, first down. Keep moving it.
Yeah, 4 minutes to go. Hunt for 4, and then since he makes a big play and stops him, Hunt lost maybe 5 yards or 4 yards there to make it 3rd and 10. Cincinnati also used a timeout there.
Yep. What did we end up there? Punting away.
That Landry screen pass, very cool setup.
Oh,
Landry,
right up. Okay.
Down.
I'm trying to find where we are. Yeah, you're right. It was Carl Lawson that stopped. It was 2nd down and 6. Lawson stopped Hunt there, and then, followed up by that little tunnel screen that they were right for challenging because it's clearly offensive pass interference. Right? I don't know. I don't even know anymore. I have no idea.
I don't know either.
Well, you can't be blocking before he catches the ball. And then he's clearly blocking. Well, he's not. So it's like, what the?
Yeah.
I don't know, NFL. Who can figure it out? Nobody can. The fans can't. The people sitting in the booth can't. The referees can't figure out all these goddamn rules.
Yeah, that basically was the end of the game. Kicked a field goal to go 27-16, and then there was only a minute left, so none of the rest of this is that important.
Yeah, they did some interesting things when they declined the one penalty because they didn't have any timeouts left. And then actually their onside kick was almost recovered. Yeah.
Bounced off a Hodge. Luckily, TJ Carey jumped on it.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way you can do onside kick now is try to bang it off the other guy.
There was a game last week, they recovered 3 onside kicks in a row. It was whoever New Orleans played. Whoever they
didn't
played.
See that.
The numbers are terrible. Onside kicks are almost impossible. Somehow, whoever New Orleans played last week, I can't remember, the team against them kicked 3 onside kicks, recovered them all. Now, 2 of them, I think, were penalized.
Oh.
But they recovered 3 in a row. And one of them shouldn't have been. The one penalty they called offsides, the guy wasn't, they fucked it up. And even, they were saying, no, that's not offsides. You can move as long as your body doesn't go over the line. And it didn't, and the guy recovered, and they still threw the flag. So there you go, NFL officiating still getting things wrong.
That never changes.
Yeah.
So, there we are.
So that's that. Somehow we just got an hour and 15 minutes out of one of the worst watchable games
Yeah.
of the season.
So Mayfield released a statement here on Twitter. My intentions were not to throw our medical staff under the bus. No, I don't know all the facts about Odell's injury. It was emotionally answered because I can sense his frustration, and I care about my team and putting us in the best position to win.
It sounds like the team went to him. Yeah, that's well, I mean, look, he's a young guy. Yeah, he gets up there, win, lose, or draw, no matter what. Baker always shows up and does that. And sometimes you're going to say something that you regret. I mean, was he 23 years old?
Right, yeah.
So, look, I don't think it's that big of a deal, but we know how easily these things get blown out of proportion. I mean, when it comes to the Browns media, it's like Days of Our Lives. They look for anything they can get their hands on. And God forbid that you criticize any of them. Nobody circles the wagons like the Browns media does for one another. Why? I don't know. But God forbid. You talk about one, next thing you know, the ones that you actually like start sticking up for him.
It's just, I mean, I'm looking at some of these post-game press conferences. Everyone looks fucking miserable.
Because it's over. They
know
it's over. It's over. I don't know. Again, I'll just say, anybody where's this team going? What do you think? I don't know. Why isn't it working? Yeah. I don't know. Can't tell you. I don't know.
Yeah, it's something's it ain't right. Not right. Yeah.
It ain't right.
But we can only keep on surviving. That's it. Just got to keep digging through. All right. Any closing thoughts? Anything else?
Nope. That's all I got.
All right. What's our Twitter?
Our Twitter is at STS Podcast, and our email is
survivingtheseason@gmail.com, patreon.com/STS Podcasts. If you want to support the show financially, thank you guys for listening, hanging out with us. Browns win. We have 6 wins this year, and about 5 of them feel like deflating wins. I don't.
And we have like 5 losses that feel like we lost to ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there is literally most of our losses we go, we fucking did that to ourselves. You can't argue that there is some talent on this team, but there's obvious holes, but at the same time, like, we should be winning a lot of these games.
Yeah.
What do? You can't just fire everybody. And everybody, people want to get rid of Freddie. Do you think Jimmy Haslam is even going to allow Dorsey to fire Freddie because of his history with firing coaches? If they do, then he's going to get a shitstorm on him. Jason Lockenfora will be coming out of the woodwork. You'll have Mike Silver.
Oh, yeah.
He'll be coming out of the woodwork. I mean, all these people that just cannot wait to hate on whoever's, especially Jimmy Haslam. They can't wait to hate on him. It's like a wet dream for them. So I don't know. I don't even foresee Freddie doing anything. Even if he's not the right guy, it's almost like we're hamstrung with him for another year.
Because, Haslam doesn't have the best reputation with giving coaches time. So
I apologize.
It's going to be an interesting
apologize for my son
being
back here talking. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's all right. It won't be that loud. All right. Let's get out of here, Greg. Tell them what we say.
Keep on surviving.